Hi. It's going to go with you. Hi guys. It's gonna sort my volume out because it's gone weird. This is what happens when you give your kids your laptop. Right, lots of people jumping on. Cool. Cool. So we've got, I can see Emma. Give us a wave, Emma, with her French top on, very Française. And I can see Helen. Hey, Helen Thacker. Hi. I can see Krista's picture, video, but not herself. So I don't know if you could just listen. And then Kerry as well. I can see Kerry's video. Okay. So getting started. So tonight is Monday, the 24th of June. And beautiful day. I don't know where you are right now, but right now outside has definitely brightened up. So we've got birds and it's gorgeous. So the window wide open. So tonight I really wanted to go do fireside feedback because you know what? I loved it when Ashley Stone trained on GTC and she said fail, that F-A-I-L, that word is first attempt in learning. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because we all have these failures. And, you know, I always say to people, don't see that as a test. You know, the universe isn't testing you. It's giving you lessons. And I'm reading right now, Failing Forward by John Maxwell. I absolutely love it. I've just started it today. Hold on, let me see if I can find it to refer to it. No, it's not meant to be found. It's not jumping at me, so obviously it's not meant to be found. Oh, I know where it is. Hold on, 2 ticks, it's in the bag. That's fine. Got it. All right. So this is a great book if none of you have heard of this. John Maxwell does a lot of amazing leadership books. Like he's very much about, he feels for his, if you had, you know, we talk about a USP, a unique selling point for him, for this man is about adding value, okay? And we do not get paid on our time, folks. We get paid on our value, the value we add to people's lives, okay? So initially in Arbonne, you see, you know, the average paychecks for National Vice President, 13,000, you know, 6,000 for RVP. And, you know, who doesn't want that money, right? Who doesn't want to earn that, have that money for, you know, for savings, for paying off debt, for credit card loans or whatever. But just remember, this is why the frustration of so many people at the beginning of their business is that, you know what, you're not going to get paid on your time. You're going to get paid on your value. And the more your value, you have more value you build in this business, the harder you are to replace, the bigger your paycheck. And that is in direct relation to the amount of people you help. Okay, so if you're not going out there and talking about Arbonne, you're not helping other people, okay? And we spoke about tonight. Am I freezing? Am I freezing? Eek, I might be freezing. I'll go on my phone if I am.
A little bit.
I think I am, Maritza. Everybody else is frozen. I'm back in now. Yeah, I am freezing a bit. Okay, so if I do that again, I'm just going to come off the, I think I've frozen again. Right. If you can hear me, I'm going to come off the call and then I'm going to restart the call on my phone. Can you hear that, everyone? All right, I'm going to do it now. Stay there, I'll be back. Hey, I'm back. Everybody see me? Hear me? Yeah. Oh, laptops, kids. Anyway, not to worry. Okay, so I am so sorry about that. I'm not sure what you guys heard up to. Can somebody just give me a heads up as to what I said?
Hey, you were talking about the USP in that book, Failing Forward, and that how that we've got to talk about Arbonne because we're adding value to people by sharing that. That was the kind of train of thought.
Okay, thank you, Marie-Louise. Okay, so yes, so you don't get paid on your time. Jim Rohn is my most famous, like my most favorite philanthropist, okay? And a lot of the things that come through me are above me, so to speak. So I really channel in things from a higher source, and I trust the words coming through. And when people come to me with problems, and I kind of just sort of like I'm open to information that's inside of my head. And I believe Peter Morka's with me a lot anyway. So Jim Rohn, and funny enough, I listened to Napoleon Hill on a podcast, and he said about when he talks, he knows that the words are so sometimes enriched that it doesn't just come from him. There's somewhere else it's coming from. And he puts it down to his mentor, predecessor, Andrew Carnegie. So just going back to Jim Rohn, and he said, and I love this, quote unquote, you do not get paid on your time. You get paid on your value. Okay, so you do not get paid on your time, you get paid on your value. Now that is so important, guys, because when you start an Arbonne, you seem to be spending a lot of time doing Arbonne and not getting paid much. Well, if we think about it, you are learning the skill set to be able to mentor, coach, and give more value to others. And you're not going to do that at the beginning because you are new. And like anything, you know what? You don't ever, you'll never not be successful in this business unless you quit. And that is not an option. So what is the other option? It's to go out there. And I spoke about this last week on the call, that a lot of people feel very much, what's the word? They feel like they aren't good enough. They don't have the right words. The skill set is not on a scale of 1 to 10, not very high. They're so self-conscious, and you're making it all about you that you're forgetting the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. You get paid, you get rewarded for your bravery and courage in this business. Okay, nobody in any walk of life, in any success, didn't have to face these, that kind of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, make that call, or speak to somebody, or reach out. I say I'm the biggest loser in our team. I've had the most amount of no's, but it's not the no's, it's the yeses. So don't think about the no's. I spoke with Marie-Louise today about this. Don't think about, the people who laughed at you or made you feel small, or you allowed them, by the way, to make you feel small. Don't think about those people. Just remember the ones who thank you forever because you asked them and they said yes. And their family's life, you've left a legacy in their heart to change their family's lives forever. So get over yourself, because when I look back, when I started my Arbonne business, just like a lot of you, you know what? I was brand new, but I didn't even have any of this. There was no Zoom, there was no support. There was just me on my own, a team of 1 for 2 years, 2 months. And I failed forward gloriously. Okay, but I knew that I just had to keep doing the do, and I would somehow work it out. I would somehow get better. Okay, I did not read a personal development book for 5 years because I didn't know I had to, and I didn't know what to read. And when somebody gave me a book, 5 weeks later, I was driving the white Mercedes. Okay, so you need to really open your mind and know that, if I look back and I think, oh my goodness me, like the people that joined me early days, I was not the person like how good I am now saying that. But it doesn't matter, you know what? They joined me for me. Yeah, they joined me. I think they felt sorry for me, but they joined me because I was brave and I asked them anyway. That decision, whether they say yes or no, is not you, it's them. Okay, so just do the do. Okay, you can only get good at biceps. If you want biceps, do your bicep curls. You have to, strengthen that muscle. Okay, it's not hard to invite. It's not hard to reach out and say, hey, if I sent you a video, would you mind looking at this? Hey, you know what? I'm doing something. I thought of you. I thought you'd be really good. Would you mind taking a look? The invite is not hard. Okay,
can I tell you, if you're early in this business, you're dealing with the outside no's and you might find they're hard. Just wait till people your team leave you. You've mentored for 4 or 5 years. Then that feels hard, but that's a whole nother level of leadership. You see, that's a whole nother story. So where you are now, you need to get over yourself, a lot of you. And I'm not saying this to be, you know, like, I'm not putting anybody down here, but I do understand that we get caught up in this stuff here and we make things up. And how many times do we have a conversation over and over again in our head and it's not even happened? Like, that's crazy. We waste so much energy overthinking, over analyzing. What if it doesn't work? Or what if it does work? You know? So I love this book, Failing Forward, because he says basically, you know, it's about the fact that we all fail and everybody is going to fail at some point. But it's not the failing, it's what you do after the failing that makes the difference between an average leader and an above average leader. Yeah. So when achievers fail, they see it as momentary. They don't see it as a lifelong epidemic. It's just a momentary event. Okay, it's it is part of success. You won't get successful without failing, without saying, you know, and they say you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. So let's just look at a couple of things that, you know, that there's really only a few things that makes the difference between average people and achieving people. Okay, so for example, failing backwards and failing forwards, because we're all going to fail. It's non-negotiable. So we could write this down if you want. Put a list, failing backwards and failing forwards. So see where you fall in this category. And if you're not in the one you want to be, then you can change that. So failing backwards. So number 1, blaming others. Okay. And failing forward is taking responsibility. All right, it's saying, yes, you know what, I didn't get that right, I didn't get back to you in time, or I didn't follow up, you know, or whatever, you know. It's just that difference between taking ownership in your business. Number 2, failing backwards is repeating the same mistakes. And then number 2 in failing forward is learning from each mistake. And then implementing your lesson that you've learned to be stronger the next time that comes, you know, your way. Okay, number 3 in failing backward is expecting never to fail again. And number 3 in failing forward is knowing failure is a part of the progress. Knowing failure is a part of the progress. And you know, for some of you in this call, if you think this doesn't apply to you, it will apply to somebody in your team or somebody who will join your team. So we're learning everything for everybody as well as for ourselves. Okay, so number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, expecting, this is failing backward, is expecting to continually fail. Expecting to continually fail. So these are the people that say, you know, I can't sponsor, or nobody ever turns up when I do a party, or nobody, right, you're putting it out there. And then number 4 of failing forward is maintaining a positive attitude. And yes, that can be hard to do, but that's why we do the mindset. Let me just talk about having that positive expectation and that positive outlook and attitude on life. This is where personal development comes into its own. So for example, we were at the Coventry Roadshow and Marie-Louise, I'm not picking on her, but she knocked some water and it went all over my phone and her face was horrified. She was like, oh, you know, I mean, and I just went, hey, and I picked it up and I dried it. I went, look, it's fine, Marie-Louise. I said, it's water. I've dried it straight away. It's going to be okay. There'll be no damage to my phone. And guess what? It was fine. Because my personal development is not about reacting. Okay, if I get a crappy text from somebody, or I will not answer within 24 hours because I want to come back with my emotions intact, responding, not reacting. Okay, so the next one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, I think I'm on 5. I'm on 5. Okay, that is accepting tradition blindly. That's failing backward. So what I mean by that, accepting tradition blindly. So it's just sort of like, as an entrepreneur, our job is to think out the box. A lot of us are creating something here from nothing. That is the definition of an entrepreneur. So when you just accept something without questioning it, you know what, you're just following the masses. And we know by doing this business model, we are a pioneer. We're taking that path less traveled. And the definition of the word pioneer is the one with the most arrows in our bag. I'm full of arrows, but I'm okay with that. So the forward would be challenging outdated assumptions. Challenging, you know, this is a 101 business model, it's 21st business century. You know, we're challenging the job model compared to, you know, the profit system, the wage system be the profit system. Where are we now? I know, Maritza, I can see you're in out all the time. It's recorded, lovely, so you can go back and listen to it. Number 6 is being limited by past mistakes. That's failing backwards. So in that column, being limited by past mistakes. And number 6 on the failing forward is taking new risks. And we're going to have to do this because nothing ever happened inside your comfort zone. The magic only happens when you step out of that. And we know that's like, you know, it's like, oh my God, I'm scared. You know, you will be scared, and that's your growth there. You know, if you here are going for district manager, then that may seem a lot, you know, 6,000 over 2 months or 1 month, or 7,500 over 3 months. If you're going for area manager, you know, doing 12 and 12, 24,000 over 2 months, or doing 30,000 over 3 months. Now that's going to seem a lot, right? Regional vice president, 48,000 over 2 months. You know, or 40 over 3 months. How about national vice president? 192,000 over 2 months, or 160,000 over 3 months. How does that make you feel? Make you feel sick? Oh yeah, every single time you feel sick. It's not meant to be comfortable, but that is living life. When your hands are in the clay, when you're molding your world, when you're shaping the inner creation to have what you want on the inside to appear on the outside in the physical domain, that is life, guys. We get to live life in this business. Okay, so then number 7 is thinking I am a failure. And we all know how much that I am is so important. Those who know me very well will know that I get a little bit upset when I hear I am and then something really bad after that, because that is your direct contact to your silent partner. So failing backward is thinking I'm a failure, and then failing forward is believing something didn't work. So you know what, you go back and do it a different way. And then the last one, failing backward, is quitting, which again, that's it, game over, right? Or persevering. So think about, so all of you right now, just take time to stop a minute and think about a recent setback that you experienced. Okay, how did you respond? So no matter how difficult your problems were, the key to overcoming them doesn't lie in changing your circumstances. You cannot control the outside, but it's in changing yourself, the way you respond to that situation. That in itself is a process, and it begins with a desire to be teachable. So being on this call, congratulations, you guys are coachable, teachable. You want to be here, you want to show up. What does that say? So Helen, I tell all my boys, oh man, you see that my phone, I can't. You have to say that out loud, Helen, because I can't read it on my phone. I'm not frozen, am I? No, so I think Helen's frozen. Oh, we're having fun tonight. Ritz is back in. Helen? Oh, she's frozen now. Hopefully she'll put herself on mute. Oh, she's back. Helen, you froze. And you're on mute now, so we can't hear you.
She says she can't take the mic off or the mute off.
Oh, can she not? Is that because she doesn't know how, or she can't do it where she's at?
She hasn't said.
Not possible. Marie-Louise, can you read what she said? She doesn't know how. Okay, easy. Right, Helen, put your finger on your, are you on your phone or your laptop? Okay, phone. Put your finger, touch the screen, and it'll pop up at the bottom, a toolbar, and it says mute, unmute. Click that. Not popping up? I just touch my phone and then the bottom comes up for me. No. Are you on an iPhone? No. Oh, you done it.
Can you hear me now?
Yay!
Hey. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Sorry. Now, I was just saying, that's exactly, all those forward things are exactly what I tell my boys to do all the time, like when they're trying to succeed at school and to, you know, to keep learning and all that sort of thing. They'll always make mistakes. So yeah, I was just saying that's kind of just need a taste of my own medicine, that's all.
Love it. Thank you, Helen.
That's it. Just to listen to my own advice.
Yeah. And it's so easy, isn't it, to give it out and then maybe not do it ourselves.
Yeah.
We know we should, but
Exactly.
putting into action is a whole different thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool. Well, we're gonna go around and I want people just to give me some fireside chat. So you know how to mute, unmute. You can do it again in a minute, okay?
Sorry.
I know, it's fine. We don't want to
Right. Cool. We're on.
8 o'clocks are chilled out calls. They're all about team bonding and nobody's standing on ceremony here. So that's really important. Okay. And actually it's funny because your kids are watching your every move, you know, and I know that, for example, my kids, you know, they say the word try and I'm like, you don't try, you know, trying is failing with honor. They'll tell you that you do or you don't. And then, you know, somebody said to me, I'm stuck in my business. I'm like, you're not stuck. You're what? You're growing or you're dying. Everything is flowing. Nothing stands still. Everybody's breathing in and out. The universe is breathing in and out. Seasons are changing. Everything is flowing. So you're not stuck. And you know where you're at. You're either growing or you're dying. So that's, you know, so it's not about, you never, you know, it's about always moving forward. And even if it's a failing forward, you're still in the forward direction. So, okay. So if you're willing to handle failure, then from this moment, make a commitment to do whatever it takes to fail forward. And I really like that concept, you know, because it's just showing you it's okay. It's part of the process. We get such a hang up about, you know what, failure, but failure is first attempt in learning, right? Think about it. It doesn't feel so like scary anymore. It's like you can go, okay, so you know what am I going to learn from this? What's the lesson for me? You know, even when you get people in your team, you know, I know Danny and I were talking this morning, she's got somebody who's really testing her. And I said to her, oh, this is interesting. I said, I wonder what your lesson is for this with this girl, Danny. And she went, oh, what do you think? And I went, maybe it's teaching you patience. Who knows, right? But we are always facing, you know, this is a people business. It's a belly to belly business, guys. So, you know, people are the most like incredible emotional beings, but they change and you cannot predict people. So you just have to understand to learn to love people where they're at and to always look at the best side of that person. And, you know, and that's what I do, you know. You know, to give value is to give that person the ability to see them in the best light and to know that they can too have the best business. So if they want to work for it, you know, that's what that is. So we're going to just, okay, so now I've done that. So I really enjoy that. But any leadership books, John Maxwell is your man. He is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to, and I would just quickly say another thing. When you people recommend books, and I don't know about you, but I have got books coming out my arse. Like I literally have so many books that, because people say, I'm like, oh, I've got to get this. And so I immediately send a message to my PA and I'm like, Lisa, can you give me this? Can you give me this? Can you give me this? And she's got an account for me in Amazon. She just buys it for me, and then it lands on my doorstep, and I'm like, hooray. So when we had, not Donna Johnson, now I absolutely loved, I haven't listened to the Go for the Gold this Saturday. It was my birthday on Sunday, so I haven't done it yet. But the week before, it was Donna, and she was talking about success systems. And oh my wordy word, I printed it off, and I trained on this on the Zoom 8:15 last week. So if you're not listening to it, go listen to it. I've been working through this. I actually prefer this to the tracker. I absolutely love this because it talks about, and if you're in this 8 to be great group, I hope all of you doing the 8 to be great group, guys, because it's going to so keep you on target throughout the summit. It's not hard. There's no Zooms you have to tag into, and you can earn coming to my house and being treated with canopies and Prosecco. Danny and I will pay for our nations who earn it. I love this because it starts off with the invite. I'm not going to go too much into detail because I trained on this last week, but the invite is not the first exposure. The invite is the easiest part of your job, which is just to ask people to get in front of them. Hey, can I meet you for coffee at 12 o'clock at Costa? That's an invite. It's no headache. You should be doing that anyway. Any business you're in, you're going to ask to get in front of people. That's how we work our businesses. But the first exposure is where you then give the products, you give information about the business and all of that. So that's a one-to-one, like if you're out and about physically. But again, if you're social media, the invite is, hey, can I send you a video? Would you be open to watching this video? And then they watch it, the follow up, and then they watch it, and there you go. Can I send you products in the post? Can I whatever? All right. So that was not the Saturday before, but the Saturday before that, it was Donna Weiser. And I love Donna Weiser. For any of you who don't know who Donna Weiser is, I mean, she's been in the business a long time. And she used to be in an old Discover Arbonne, like at the front of it. She's so cute. I've got one here. I can't find, here it is. So this is Donna Weiser. Okay. She's so sweet. She's like 20 years. And Donna Weiser, her training was phenomenal, and she talked about book after book after book, and most of those books I've read and already, and you know, a good book you can always go back to, but a couple I hadn't. So straight away, what do? I come off my run and I write it down in my notes, and I'm like, okay, I haven't got that, and I haven't got that, and I need to get that. So straight away I'm on to Lisa, and I'm like, could you get me this book? What to say to yourself, what to say when you talk to yourself, shared Ham's letter. And by the way, he used to, I think he worked for Arbonne or did Arbonne at one time. He's got really close connections with Julie Newcomb in our upline. So that was that one. Okay. And then this was the next one she talked about. I never even heard of that. The ultimate secret to getting absolutely everything you want, Mike Nucky, right? Or got that one. Oh my God, Maritzi. See? So I know we have our list of books, right? But then once you've read that, then what? And I was like, oh my God, so I've got more books. And I just finished this book yesterday. And I'm like, yeah, now I'm on this. I'm like, which book? Now I'm on this book. And also, if you guys won't be on Donna Johnson's boot camp, but she's doing a boot camp area to VP and VP to Nation. And she was like, she said, we have to get these. So we have to get this book. And then we have to get this book. And then as I was doing it, there was a book for the kids. So I thought, if I'm reading the adult version, my two daughters are going to read the children version. Cool, hey? So keep this stuff, guys, is everything. The success is to be attracted by the person you become. If you work harder on here, I promise you, you can handle anything that comes your way. But you have to do your personal development. Like, I did not like doing personal development at the start. I used to get a sore head. It was hard. I didn't get it. It was like, oh, it was like excruciating. It used to take me like 2 hours. Yes, the list is on the Do More, Be More Facebook page, but I can send you a list again. I think I put a list up that Ashley Stone did, which is really similar to us, Rebecca, on our Facebook Messenger group. I'll repost it tonight. Let me write that down so you can get that list. You know, and if you know what, if again, they're in. Oh, you got it. Okay, Rebecca, you're good. I can't see because I only got 4. You good, Rebecca? Yes. Should I repost that list anyway? Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. All right. Okay. So I haven't got the time because I'm on my phone. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this up to everybody. What time is it now, Mike? It is, oh good, oh God, already? I've talked about fireside chat and I'm harping on like an old wifey. Sorry, that's terrible. Okay, let's go quickly around. I don't want to be quickly. If somebody's got something to say and we're with somebody a long time, then we're meant to be. So I'm just going to say, okay, so Helen, as she managed to work out how to unmute herself, I'm going to ask you to go first. If there's anything you would like advice on or beneficial for the group or what you've noticed, whatever.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I wasn't ready for this. I don't know. I need to think. I could ask so many questions. I guess. Just trying to think. For me, okay. So for me, I'm now getting to the stage where I'm starting to think about being a good manager and leader for the people that I'm bringing into the business. So it's making sure, and I've been reading Don Failer, and about how he concentrates on the first five and doesn't spread himself too thin. So for me, I'm starting to think now towards that. I'm being brave and bold and thinking positive and thinking, right, I need to, be thinking about how to manage my team successfully, how to build them up, how to support them, how to be a good leader, really, and starting to think about that part of my job, which is obviously what it is all about in the end. So that is starting to cross my mind now. Now I've kind of feel like I've got the basics. I'm ready to move on to the leadership side. So yeah, that's would be my thoughts that's been going in my head at the moment.
Brilliant. I love that. And also, guys, you start number one by leading yourself. Okay. Yeah. So showing up, doing those daily disciplines, that we talk about, your reading, your affirmations, your meditation, your hour of power, let's say. I know that Rachel, Fit and Jade start get up 6 and Zoom each other every morning and do a miracle morning, which you can join in, by the way. So I'm not saying that, don't get me wrong, we're all work in progress, right? You never arrive. And it's funny because, like, for those of us who are not plan A on this call, if you hear most of you have a plan B and you've got other businesses or jobs, I think sometimes you can feel like, when do I fit this in? But it is just nooks and crannies. If you can't do 10 pages, do 5. If you can't do 5, do 2. Just do something. That's all, that I can ask for. But even saying that, for me, this is a plan A. I only had 4 hours last week to do my one-to-ones. That's all I had the time, because all the rest of it, I was writing trainings, I was Zooming for other teams. There's a girl in Region Quad, she paid money for the Arbonne Foundation because at GTC, because Arbonne asked me if I would hand a coaching call to be bidded on. She won me, and so she's in Region Qual. So I spent on Saturday, that was a good 2 hours doing my writing my training and then coaching a team. And then I was with Maritza in Ipswich, and 11 o'clock to 12 I did all about the NDP challenge trip. So I only had 4 hours last week to actually get in front of people belly to belly. So I have to be so strict with my time. And you guys, if you're doing that right now alongside what you're doing, you are really running a tight ship, and that is successful in itself, because you are delegating, you're organizing, you're functioning, you're structuring. Even though I'm a circle, I still know what I have to do, and if I don't go to sleep until I've done it. If I've not read, I'm so strict on myself. If I've not read my 10 pages, I do not allow my head to hit that pillow, because if I do, I'm letting all of you down, because I'm putting a cap on you, because I can ask you to grow into a great leader if I'm not staying above, you know what I mean? If I'm not vibrationally aspiring, ascending to lift and raise all of you and be the mentor and coach that you deserve to have in your business. So think about that, be the best version of you. And oh my God, when people start to join your team, it is so exciting. And they'll be looking at you, they'll be hanging on your words, and you'll think, am I actually qualified for this? But you'll do it because you're thinking out the box, and it's incredible how you will grow into. And I know, Helen, you love Arbonne. I know You're
Oh,
a
yeah.
grafter. You're,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It's moved from your head to your heart. I absolutely know that. Wow.
Totally. Yeah,
And
totally.
I will say as well, that's when I get excited, because I was speaking to Ali Hutchinson. We went to the Ritz, got the train together, and we were talking about it. She still gets like a pang in her heart when somebody says no to her. She's like, how do you deal with that, Fiona? And I'm like, okay, doing this business for almost 12 years, when I get a yes or a no, it's the same feeling for me now. I don't get excited on the yes, and I don't get upset on the no. I literally am just like this. My heart doesn't change. My heart rate's the same. And she's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, because my lessons are, I know a no can mean a yes, and a yes can mean a no. A yes can mean I used to be, oh my God, they're going to come with me to the top. We're going to have the best time. And then what happened? They were in the witness protection 2 days later, and I didn't hear from them. I didn't, right? And I'd much rather get the people who say no and mean no than the people who say yes and mean no, because then I feel like I'm stalking them, and I'm like, I don't know where I stand with them. So I have no emotion on a yes or a no now. Okay. And she's like, well, then how does that change? I'm like, when I get emotional is when I see this business move from the head to the heart. Then I get excited for them. That's when I then get emotional. That's when I'm like, oh, because I know it's going to change their life forever. And remember, you have to talk to people, because the legacy is for you to help people whose children's lives will change forever. Danny is so sweet. She's always like, forever. Ivana and Farah, their life is completely changed because I said yes 7 years ago before she even heard of Arbonne. How is that? That's like crazy. A legacy is not something you get when you're dead. It's something you leave behind on planet Earth forever. Just think how powerful. That's powerful, guys. All of you right here have that power within you to share. Do not keep it within. Please don't do that. You must go out and just do your job, and all you have to do is invite, and do not overthink, because if you're not speaking to people, then you know what? You're not doing Arbonne. And you know what? Remember, it's not the no's. Forget about all of that. But somebody will thank you for the rest of their life because you were brave enough to ask them and they said yes. And you were the one who made that difference for them. All right. Okay. So who's next? Let's see. Anyone like, oh gosh, we're in out. Anybody want to say anything? But because we're running out of time before I ask, and does anybody want to bring up? We have 5 minutes.
So is there going to be another Ritz next year? Another Ritz in Because I joined Arbonne just before you, or just after you announced it anyway. I've just like been here for a week or something. Is there going to be another, out of all these incentives, as Laura will tell you, I'm very much goal, like, oh, you know, give me a name and I'll go for it. But yeah, is there going to be another Ritz type thing every year? How does it work?
Yes, so you are in luck, Helen Thacker. Yes, there is. It was something that we tried. Danny and I were like, we're always coming up with different things. And the 8 to be great we started was something I created last year at the beginning of, we came through winter, that was it. So it was like 2018, 8 to be great. And Danny was like, okay, the summer's coming up and we know it gets quieter. And we're like, what can we do that isn't heavy for people? Like there's lots of Zooms to attend, but that just keeps them in. And it was that. So then it was all about, then we did an area manager boot camp over a course of 3 months. And we're like, what incentive for people? And we were like, okay, so the Ritz was where we went for Nation for Christmas, like training and dinner. It was absolutely out this world. And we were like, okay, so the Ritz. We were astounded how amazing people loved that. Like we probably weren't going to do it again, but because of everybody's reaction, we're going to do it again. Like, I can't wait. You know, I can't wait. I said to Marie-Louise, you should have been with me. I wanted to take you to Tiffany's, get you champagne, buy your Tiffany bracelet or your necklace or whatever you want. And the funny thing is, another thing why we did that was last year when Danny went Nation in back end of October. So it was December, I took her to the Ritz before we went to the MVP thing. And Tiffany's is like a block away. We got the champagne and I said, right, Danny, off you go, buy something for yourself. And I didn't tell her the budget. And so she looked at these pair of earrings and they were like about £260, I think. And she's like, oh, I think I'd like these earrings. And I went, right, Danny, I'm spending £1,000 on you in this shop. I said,
Wow.
You can get those earrings, but get like, 4 sets of these earrings, because I'm spending £1,000 on you, so you decide what you want. So you know what, I love the fact that we can love on you guys, because you deserve to be loved on, and it was an incredible experience. We're gonna do it again, Helen, so you'll be there. Well, you'll already be probably an RVP by then, so you'll be taking your team.
Definitely, I will.
I know you will.
Cool. Yeah,
100%. Cool.
totally right.
Absolutely. All right, darlings, we have
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on here. I hope that was a good training. I want you to start stepping into training as well. These 8 p.m. I'm going to start delegating some of you to train on products, to discover Arbonne slides. I know Maritza wants to start doing a 30 days practice. So I'm going to get all of you involved, because I feel like it's time for you guys to step up. So give me ideas what you want, that you would like to train on, that you've never done before, because it's not just me. Again, I need to know what you guys, where you are right now in your business, and what can help you the most. I love you so much. Mwah, and I'll see you on the 9 p.m. Zoom. Well done, everyone, for coming on the call. Good night. Namaste.